The Crimson Woman. It was on a chilling autumn night that my niece, Emma, handed me a folded piece of paper with a triumphant grin. Her eyes sparkled with anticipation as she said, "Uncle, I drew something for you." Unfolding the paper, I was met with a disturbing sight. The drawing depicted a little girl in a vibrant red dress, her lips stretched into an unsettling smile. However, her eyes were blank, like two empty voids staring out from the paper. Beside her stood a woman, draped in a flowing white gown. Her lips were painted a deep shade of red, and her eyes glowed crimson with an intensity that seemed to pierce through the paper. The woman's white dress was marred by red blemishes, reminiscent of bloodstains. Despite the unsettling nature of the drawing, I couldn't help but commend Emma on her artistic skills, all while feeling a shiver run down my spine. As the days went on, that drawing found its way onto my bedroom wall, a constant presence that seemed to watch over me as I slept. And it was in my dreams that the true terror began. Night after night, I found myself in a recurring dream. I was standing in a dimly lit room, a place that felt both familiar and otherworldly. A soft, eerie breeze whispered through the air, causing the curtains to sway gently. And then she appeared, the woman in white from the drawing. Her eyes glowed with an unnatural crimson light, and her lips, painted the same shade of red, curved into a sinister smile. "Welcome," she whispered, her voice a haunting melody that echoed in my mind. "I've been waiting for you." In my dreams, I was paralyzed, unable to move or speak. The woman in white would approach, her steps graceful yet filled with an unsettling energy. She would reach out a delicate hand, her fingers unnaturally long, as if beckoning me to follow. "No, please." I would try to plead, but my voice remained trapped within me. She would lean in, her red eyes locked onto mine, and whisper in a voice that seemed to come from all directions, "Don't be afraid. Embrace the darkness." Each time I woke from these dreams, I would find myself drenched in sweat, my heart pounding in my chest. The woman in white had invaded not just my nights, but my thoughts during the day as well. Though the dreams have faded and the woman in white no longer haunts my nights, I can't help but wonder if her presence might return someday, reminding me that some mysteries are never truly laid to rest. And as I gaze upon that drawing now, the little girl's smile and the woman's crimson eyes seem to hold secrets that may forever remain beyond my understanding. Believe. As a mother, I've always cherished the heartfelt creations of my child, but one drawing in particular left an indelible mark on my memory, sending shivers down my spine every time I think about it. The eerie artwork appeared on the eve of November 1st, 2021, a night veiled in darkness and mystery. That evening, as the clock ticked towards midnight, I found myself sitting in the dim glow of the living room lamp, contemplating the stillness of the night. My daughter, Emily, approached me with a small, unassuming piece of paper, clutched in her tiny hand. "Mommy, I made something for you," she said in a hushed tone, her eyes wide with anticipation. I unfolded the paper to reveal an unsettling drawing. At the center of the paper stood a little girl, her lips curved into an innocent smile. Yet, it was her eyes that sent a chill down my spine. They appeared to be stitched shut, the thread tracing an unsettling pattern across her otherwise flawless face. Beside her stood a woman with an eerie countenance. The woman's presence was unsettling, her limbs extending in a nightmarish symphony of extra appendages, 5 arms on each side, Just like the little girl, her eyes too were stitched, the thread weaving a disturbing tapestry across her face. My heart skipped a beat as I looked at the drawing. The air in the room seemed to grow colder, and I couldn't shake off the feeling that this drawing held an otherworldly presence. I mustered a smile and praised Emily's artistic skills, all while masking the unease that had settled in the pit of my stomach. Following weeks were peaceful, and I found solace in dismissing the drawing as a product of an active childhood imagination. But one fact remained hauntingly odd. I had dreamt of this very drawing a week prior to Emily giving it to me. In the dream, I had seen those stitched eyes and the multi-armed woman, their images imprinted in my memory. Yet, despite the unsettling nature of the dream, nothing similar had come to pass in reality. As November days turned into nights, the memory of the drawing persisted, and I found myself retracing my steps through that chilling dream. But then, something strange happened. The drawing itself began to fade from my memory, and the unease that had accompanied it seemed to lift. It was as though the drawing itself was relinquishing its hold on my thoughts. The dinner. My world revolves around my child, my little bundle of joy who fills my days with laughter and love. Yet there are moments in life that can cast a shadow over the simplest of experiences, leaving an indelible mark that defies explanation. One evening, as the sun began its descent below the horizon, casting long shadows across the dining room, my daughter, Lily, handed me a piece of paper with an innocent smile. Lily's words echoed in my mind. "My friend, he's nice. He was with us yesterday when we had dinner." A chill ran down my spine as I recalled the dinner Lily was referring to. My breath caught in my throat as I studied the drawing. Unfolding the paper, I was met with an unsettling scene. The drawing depicted Lily and me sitting at the dining table, our faces filled with joy as we enjoyed a family dinner. However, my heart skipped a beat as I noticed the figure drawn in the corner of the room. A man, his features obscured by a shroud of darkness, sat on the floor with an air of quiet malevolence. His hair was a deep shade of red, swirling with streaks of black, and his presence seemed to radiate an ominous energy. The previous night, as we sat down to eat, a peculiar sensation had gripped me. My hair had stood on end, and an inexplicable unease had settled over me, casting a shadow over what should have been a simple family meal. At the time, I had brushed it off as a figment of my imagination, a mere product of my own anxious thoughts. But now, staring at that drawing, I couldn't help but question the reality of what had occurred. Days turned into weeks, and that drawing found its place among Lily's other creations, a constant reminder of the unsettling presence captured within its lines. Each time we sat down to eat dinner, I couldn't shake off the feeling that unseen eyes were watching us, that the man drawn in the corner of the room was there, just beyond the edges of my vision.